Okay, Jeff Durkin with We Are Change Connecticut. We're out here at the 2014 Liberty Forum, and we're here with one of the speakers who just did a great presentation, citizen journalist James O'Keefe of Project Veritas. James, thanks for coming out, and tell us a little bit about Project Veritas and how you got involved in starting it.
Project Veritas is a nonprofit foundation that was started out of our efforts to expose Acorn and other organizations, government organizations. We do undercover work. We get the media to react to what we're doing. We get government officials to talk about the issues we're interested in exposing. And we've gotten some serious results. Just recently we exposed Battleground Texas, and we exposed voter registration fraud in taking people's cell phone numbers off voter registration forms, which is a crime. And we do this type of journalism, and I talked today about the impact we're having.
What's been just sticking out with stories you've been covering in the past few years? What's the one story that sticks out to you that, whether it was good or bad, the result out of it, what was the one story that sticks out to you?
I think our Obamacare navigator story in the fall was pretty big, particularly the Enroll America director who resigned after we caught him on video sharing private data about healthcare consumers with political candidates. That was a director of Enroll America. He resigned. We caught navigators. They were fired. So we really make an impact locally, and that has a national effect, and particularly the earned media off these stories. I mean, one video gets covered by 75 TV affiliates, and that's the equivalent of $2 million in earned media coverage.
And the one thing about citizen journalism that people tend to have is thinking that you have to go this one way for journalism, like you talked about earlier, and now it's changing with the power of technology and social media. Any advice for people who think that, you know, they can't make a difference, they get past the fear aspect like you talked about? What's the advice for people who may want to get involved?
Well, I think journalism needs to be decentralized. It's become too corporate, too cozy with those in power. Journalists are ambitious, they've shared politics with the people in the government, and they're also a little afraid to put themselves out there because of fear of losing their jobs at the news company. So there has to be outside journalists, there has to be citizens who are willing to put themselves out there. And my message is, hey, look, I've done this, I've survived the attacks and whatever they've thrown at me, and here's how I survived it, here's my story. Here's why I wrote the book Breakthrough, to talk about breaking through their firewall and making a difference. So trying to get people to not be afraid of what would happen to them when they go out there and do what I do is very important. And trying to get people who are outside of the establishment to do the type of reporting that they do is important. So that's my message.
Just to wrap it up here, websites for people to find out more about your work, how to keep updated on what the latest stuff that you guys are doing, and anything else you'd like to add.
Yeah, well, definitely subscribe to our Facebook Project Veritas. That's Veritas, truth in Latin, projectveritas.com. We're a nonprofit foundation, so make a reoccurring donation. If it's $25 a month, that's fine. Whatever you can afford to support our efforts. And also share the videos with people that you know. Contact your representatives if we release a video in your state, and projectveritas.com, and stay tuned.
I would say is to just hang in there, because journalism is changing, but it's changing for the better, and it's a revolutionary time for journalists, because you can just pick up a smartphone or a small camera and head out and change the world.
Because without grassroots media, without citizen journalism, we will not be able to take back the media. We have to make the corporate media irrelevant and take things in our own hands, and I applaud your guys' efforts, and I applaud everyone who's doing similar things, because this is really the revolution right here.